Hey YouTube, welcome back to Homestead in the Box. My name is Leah and I'm super thankful to have you here today. At today's video, as promised, I'm going to talk to you about why we do not buy Cornish cross meat birds anymore. Try to say that 5 times fast. This is like take 6 on just me trying to get that out. So I'm going to tell you why we do not buy broiler chickens. That's what I call them, broiler chickens anymore. And what we have resorted over to instead of buying broiler chickens. Also, I'm going to give you an update on the 20 rabbits that we have that are pregnant. And of course, a sneak peek at how great the garden is growing. If you're interested in homesteading, animal husbandry, gardening, preserving, things like that, and you have not subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified every week when I release new content. Plus, it helps me get my videos out and into the YouTube world. So come with me. We're going to go meet the new meat birds and discuss why we have this kind of meat birds and not the broiler chickens. All right, so if you've been around here any at all, you know that last September we raised about 50 Cornish cross chickens. In this video, I'm just going to be calling Cornish cross chickens broiler chickens because in my life, that is what we've always called them. Anyway, we are not, as you see, these are not broiler chickens. Broiler chickens are white. Decided to go with these Delawares and these Black Star chickens. You just see me move the chickens. We move those chickens twice a day. One in the evening, once at night. This morning, where they're at this morning, there was a bunch of mulch, leaves, and things there. So there's not a whole lot of green grass. There is still some, and I'm literally watching them eat it up. Anyway, all right. So why do we not do broiler chickens anymore? There's several reasons why. The first reason is it's just not economical for us, honestly. To buy chickens every single year to put in your freezer, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us. So that's the first reason. The second reason is broiler chickens have to be dispatched, and dispatch means processed, between 8 and 10 weeks, okay? They get to a certain age and you have to process them between 8 and 10 weeks, or you are going to go out to your coop and find dead chickens because they just have heart attacks and they get too big for their own feed. I mean, it's just a really sad deal. Okay, and as a kid, I raised broiler chickens for 4 years. I never once thought of it like that. And as an adult, I just can't do it. I just can't. It's sad to me. Just because it doesn't work here for us doesn't mean it won't work for you. Okay, so if you're looking for something to get some fast meat birds, broiler chickens are probably the best bet for you. 8 to 10 weeks, you call them, put them in your freezer, you're good to go. For us, it's just not, it just doesn't make any sense for us for what we're doing here. So that's the second reason. The third reason is eventually I would like to, here in Oklahoma, I can actually sell chicken from my farm. As long as it's from my farm, it does not have to go through a USDA processing plant. And so, and I've had a couple people reach out to me about raising chickens for them. And it sounds like a great idea, you know, but it just has to be, smart for everybody all the way around the board, and having to buy chickens from somebody else to raise for someone, there's just a lot of money wrapped up in it and it just doesn't make any sense. So I did some research and I found 2 breeds of chickens that are, there's a ton of dual purpose chickens out there, but these 2 breeds I found that are going to work best for us. One of them is called a Delaware chicken. And the Delaware chicken is the original meat bird before Purdue came in and created the Cornish cross bird, okay? So I was definitely gonna snatch up some Delawares. And then the second bird I found was called a Black Star. And McMurray Hatchery is where we purchase all of our chickens and turkeys and things from. Absolutely love McMurray Hatchery. Great customer service. Anyway, so they had the Delaware and the Black Star. I purchased both of them, and what we're doing here is we move these birds twice a day, and we're seeing which birds get the biggest, the fastest, and then we're going to keep that breed, okay? The rest of them, we're going to call them, and we're going to put them in our freezer. We're going to keep a couple hens and a rooster. I made sure to buy a rooster of each breed that we have. These is because these chickens lay eggs. Broiler chickens do not lay eggs. It doesn't matter if you get a rooster and you get a broiler chicken to survive long enough to even be able to lay an egg. It's not going to. It's just not going to lay eggs. They're not bred to lay eggs, okay? So these chickens lay eggs. So for me, my thought process behind it was get chickens that lay eggs, cull the rest of the flock that you're going to put in your freezer, keep some of the breed that gets bigger the fastest. Okay, it's a more hardy bird. Delaware lay eggs between 18 and 22 weeks, and the Black Stars lay eggs between 22 and 26 weeks. So the Delaware hopefully are going to be laying me eggs first. So that's probably going to be the chicken that I end up keeping. So far, Delawares, they're definitely in the lead. I will keep some of those Delawares and I will add them to our yard birds. They'll basically just be a new yard bird for us. And then come this winter, I will separate the Delaware chickens with their rooster in a separate pen, a breeding pen, and I will just be collecting consistently those Delaware eggs. And then I will incubate my own chickens of those Delawares. That way I don't have to go to the hatchery anymore to buy meat birds. That really just overall, it makes more sense in the long run. What works for us on our homestead, that may not be what works for you, and that's totally okay if that's not what works for you. This is what we do, and this is how we do it. Just because it's the way that we do it, it may not be the best way for you. I am going to give an update on the animals and the garden. So all right, I still have to put all my tomatoes in the ground, but we're going to kind of hop over. You can see I have started top dressing this bed here. This is where I'm going to be putting all my tomatoes. We're going to come in with a cattle panel trellis, and I'm going to be planting probably roughly about 25 tomato plants here. Also, we come down here. My potatoes are looking great. If you watched my last video, you know I cleaned out a little bit more area. My peas are looking good. Today I'm going to be building some trellis for some cucumbers in my other garden beds. And I did this whole row here of nothing but green beans. I don't see any sprouting just yet, but they are due to come. You can see over here I've succession sowed some peas. And so you can see the new babies coming up. So we have some mamas that are due to have babies pretty soon. And I just want to show you guys kind of what rabbits do. They nest a lot like females, really. Humans in their last few weeks of pregnancy, they call it nesting. But rabbits, what they do in their last few days before they give birth is we give them straw, things like that, and they create a nest in this nesting box, and they're all bred within so many days of one another, so we will be having babies within a few days of each other. Another recent change we've had to make is we've had to put the chickens behind this poultry netting. It's electric poultry netting, and we purchased this from Premier One. Basically just to keep the chickens out of my garden. This is 100-foot netting. I'm not a fan of it. The chickens aren't a fan of it. Now we like the netting and things like that, but I like the chickens. The chickens love me. We like to hang out. Good morning. But it's better than them eating my garden, so I'm not completely mad about it. Hi, good morning. They love their mom. All right, YouTube, thanks so much for coming hang out with me today. Hear me out about the chickens, seeing the rabbits, checking out the garden. I really appreciate everybody that comes and watches this channel. It means a lot to me. If you haven't yet subscribed, please click that subscribe button, notification bell, so you get notified. Feel free to share this video with somebody that you might know that likes gardening, or somebody that's raising broiler chickens and you think, hey, they might like this video. They might want to look into this other option that Homestead in a Box is doing. So thanks so much for coming hanging out with me. I'm sending you guys good vibes as always. Send them to somebody that you know, and I will see you guys next week.